Hey guys, Wrest here from Marketing Secrets for Electricians, and today we're looking at the direction you want to go. Let's look forward into the future and see what path you wish to take. So, here's what I hear a lot. How do normal electricians like us, who are properly trained and licensed, who are not willing to cheat and take shortcuts, and who are wanting to own a successful electrical business, how do we compete against the big guys who own the market share, or the guys that charge peanuts for an electrical job? On top of that, we want to employ the best electricians so we can get off the tools and have plenty of time for other areas of life. That's the question. Join me and follow along as we search for the answers. My name is Wrest, and welcome to Marketing Secrets for Electricians. So every morning I try to sit outside in the garden and have breakfast. And this morning the neighbor walks up to me and she asks if I'm an electrician, or my partner said I was, and can I help her husband? I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So he comes around 5 minutes later and says, hey, so you're an electrician, do you do this, and this? And I was like, yeah, I am an electrician. I am currently not on the tools as such. I'm more in the online world. And he starts telling me about how he needs an electrician and he's a construction worker, or not a construction, he manages like complexes and builds them and this type of stuff. And he is looking for an electrician to wire, his units, his complexes that he's building. So I was like, yeah, I'm building this website, find electricians near me, and if you want, I can help you find an electrician. He's like, yeah, I've used those kind of sites and I don't trust the reviews and this type of thing. And I was like, yes, I totally agree. And here is the point I made, is the site that I'm creating is going to be of real people, of real electricians, of value. Like, I want to add value to the community, and so we do that through having interviews and things that your potential customers will find useful and get to know you. So basically, for example, with this guy, I can take his work, his job, and I can find electricians in the area where we are and start interviewing them, and then I'm going to send them, hey, here's 3 electricians, have a look at the interviews, what do you think, who do you connect with, and let me put the 2 together so you have a reliable electrician. Now, that is kind of the goal in general of what I want to do, because I have heard this not once, not twice, but a few times where people don't trust the online reviews. Anyone can put a review up on the site, but not everyone can make a fake interview or will take the time and go out of their way to create a fake interview. And why would you? There's no point, unless, like, what we're trying to do is become a real electrician, go deeper, find value for our customers and help them with their work. So that being said, what I was actually working on this morning was building. So I'm currently building Fine Electricians in me, and I'm going to go probably live on Facebook and give you a behind the scenes before I launch it, and show you what I've been doing, what the site looks like, how it flows, possibly the membership area if it's done. I'm not quite finished yet, but I want to show you guys what I'm working on so you can see. I want to lead the way of what potential there is, what you guys can do if you start creating sales funnels for your businesses, and then also get your guys' feedback. If you think it looks good, you don't like it, whatever the case may be, let me know. I'm open for input. That's how we evolve. That's how we change. That's how we learn. So, got an exercise for you today that, before I go into the exercise, something that Sean shared with me from Current Electrical Services in Canada. So thank you for the bullet journal. I don't know if you guys have heard of the bullet journal, but it's a way of analyzing, tracking, and planning for your life, essentially. And an exercise in that book is The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost, and it's a tale of two lives. So essentially what you do is you picture one life where you favor comfort over risk. So everything you do is safe. Everything you do is within your comfort zone. And then you visualize or write down the other side, the other path, which is favors risk over comfort. So you go out of your way, you push the boundaries, you try and grow and change. And for me, the exercise, the one major thing that came out and I found quite interesting, which I wasn't aware of, and a reason why myself personally push so much towards growth and change is on the for the road well traveled, so the worn path. For me, I visualize, at the end of, like, when I was 80, 90 or whatever, I was in an old folks home, and hadn't done anything with my life. I was bored, I was miserable, I was basically unhealthy, not well. I the smell of the nursing home, and basically I pictured when I was younger, my mother used to take me to visit my great grandmother in the nursing home, and I hated it. It smelled terrible. It was like everyone was just like sitting there watching TV, bored. The energy, the vibe of that particular nursing home was so, for me as a kid, so terrible. And that's kind of the path I see for myself if I don't grow and change in the direction I want. And I was not aware of that until I've done that exercise. So this kind of helped me identify kind of a path that I was avoiding. And as humans, we move away from pain and towards pleasure. So there are two in marketing. They're your two motivating factors. So in your marketing, you're either moving your customer away from the pain or towards the pleasure of your job. And what I find really interesting is if I keep this notebook up, this whole like bullet journal for the course of my life, because the next exercise in this thing is to write a letter to your future self about what you learnt from your exercise. So you're basically documenting it, and when you reach that age, you could, if you have all this paperwork still and you've kept it, you can be interesting to look back and see how you went. I think that would be a fascinating thing. So on to what you can also do, or what I see needs to happen in the electrical industry for electricians. We need to get out of the mindset of basically of being just the electrician. We need to be a marketing electrician. We need to grow into these shoes. So, for example, if we take the Road Not Taken by Robert Frost, if we can relate that to being an electrician, let's visualize the first journey of the road well trodden. So the first step is where you are right now, and you basically don't grow, you don't change, you don't move everything, you stay in your comfort zone. 10 years time, what happens? So first off, to get to where you are today, you can look at your past and look at the choices you've made, and most likely you're going to end up taking the same choices because they're habits, you're comfortable in that. And in 10 years time, are you going to have the electrical business you want? Are you going to have the amount of work you want? Are you going to be bust? Because going into a business, 90% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. So if you've done over 5 years, congratulations, you're that 10% that are against the trend. So one side of it is you don't change, you don't grow, you don't do anything. The next side of it, visualize 10 years ahead, and you've got all the work you could ever desire. You've got all the customers you want. You've got a team of people that just work and they trust you, and you've grown into this, or you've grown your business into entity that you want it to be, but you yourself have grown into the person you need to be in order to run that business and be efficient and effective. Because if you, as a leader, every choice you make affects the rest of the company, and that's why we've been working on the why and having meaning. And if you don't have why, meaning, or purpose in your life, in the choices you make, even if you hit the goals that you're obtaining to, you'll be left without meaning. So what's the point? So with that, which of these paths do you want to take? Which steps do you want to do? And that leads me to, in the world we are in right now, there is so much information. There is too much information to consume in our lifetimes, and there's just doubling, tripling, like very rapidly. So with that said, what is it that you need to learn right now? And here's another exercise. For example, if you're standing in your room and you want to get to the other side of the room, what do? You just take steps in the same direction to get to the other end of the room. However, if you take one step forward, one step left, one step right, one step back, one step forward, and chase basically the shiny object syndrome, so you're constantly moving in different directions, this is essentially the same as taking the road well trodden, because you're not moving in the direction you want. So you're staying within your comfort zone of consuming all this information but not taking action, because there's a belief inside that is stopping us from going. Maybe you feel deep down you don't deserve to have that electrical business, or maybe you're just comfortable and you're happy where you are and you don't want to grow. That's also fine, but find the reasons that you're not wanting or not willing or not going to, or what is stopping you from going in the direction you need to go in order to have that business, that goal that you desire. So I hope that helps a bit deeper this episode. It's important to set a goal, to know where we're going so we can measure it and maintain and actually make progress and growth in the direction we're after. I'm wanting to help you guys market your business so you get seen. And in order to get seen, you need to start producing content. You need to start putting yourself out there on blog, on podcasts, on video, on camera. It's exactly the same as going to person, meeting people face to face, except if you do videos, if you create content, that content is going to be there pretty much forever. So anyone, anytime can see that. So you're not having to work more hours. Your content is working those hours for you. And this is multiplying your time and using your time valuably and not just a once-off thing. And this is how marketing works. Essentially, you're finding value, you're adding value for the customers, but in a way that isn't directly related to your time. It does take you time to create the content. Once it is there, then you can step forward and go to the next one. And if you notice, I've done roughly 20 episodes now, and this podcast, it keeps growing. There's more and more people listening, and all I'm doing is producing 1 or 2 episodes a week, and yet now I've got 20 episodes, and you can go back to the start and you can listen to all of them, and I'm constantly growing. And you can do this for your business too. The trick is to set aside time each week to make your marketing, to focus on your marketing for your business to grow and to change and to have a goal so you can achieve that goal. And it helps if you learn. So there's all this information out there, as I said before. It helps if you learn what you need to learn just before you need it. So if there's 10 things you need to learn in order to market your business, don't learn all the 10 things before you take action. Learn the first thing, take that step. So you're learning, then you step, and then you're like, okay, what's the next thing? Okay, I'm publishing, I've got that down pat. I don't need to know Like, I don't know the next 10 episodes I'm going to create right now. I know this episode and essentially the next one, and that's it, because I'm making it as I go. So step by step you create the thing, and in consuming and creating and then producing the action, you're actually going to get somewhere versus getting nowhere and ending up in the same place. So guys, I hope that helps. Now, one thing I'd also want to throw in there, once you start producing content, there's something I was looking at this week called Linktree, and I'll leave a link in the actual description so you can view it. It's like a free and paid plan, but what it does is creates a central hub where you can send people to. So like in the past, I was saying, for example, go to marketingsecretsforelectricians.com, or go to my Facebook group and go to Facebook and search Marketing Secrets for Electricians and find the Facebook group. Now that's a bit of steps in order for the user to get there, or the person to actually take those steps. So there's an easier way where I can say go to marketingelectrician.com, and there you'll find a link, like a central hub to all the links and all the offers and all the things that I've got going on. And so that's what I've done, and Linktree does this. I've done it in my own website platform that I use, because I don't need to spend extra money if I can do it myself, and it's quite a simple setup. It's like just got a little image, hashtag, or at to contact you, and then it's like the buttons, and I'm going to add more content. It's going to be like a value letter online where you can see what I'm working on, what's going on, what offers I'm going to put out there, and it's a central hub to connect everything together. So check out Linktree to see what I'm talking about in general, and then you can go to marketingelectrician.com to see the example of my Linktree, where I've just got a domain, marketingelectrician.com, and you can see what it looks like. Talk soon. Let's get this show on the road and start marketing our electrical businesses and finding customers to serve that need reliable electricians. I'm trying to change the industry, and I'm building funnels for electricians to help do that. If you want to see the first funnel we're building, it's called, or you can visit it at findelectriciansinme.com, and this is the start of our client acquisition funnel, where we're going to be connecting with customers that need electricians, and when we do, we're going to need electricians to do that. I don't plan personally to go do these jobs. I'm going to give them to electricians that want to work with me to help serve these customers. So if you're interested in this, please go to findelectriciansinme.com and check it out, and we'll talk soon.